Hello, happy Tuesday morning. I'm back. Told you I do so much better on the weekdays because I'm already getting up. Um, so today, one of the things that I was thinking about, um, my whole purpose of doing this, I keep on trying to come back to this idea of what was my purpose for starting these videos. Was it just for me? Was it for other people? Was it for, I don't know, and, a lot of it was for me, so that I can kind of, be more open about what's going on and in that sharing, hopefully, make, help make things move more myself. So I thought today one of the things that I should do is I should share, um, part of the things that made waking for me or, shifted things with my mood and made that challenging for me. So when I was in high school, I started to have terrible migraines and body aches, and I felt just absolutely terrible. And, the doctors, my regular doctors, had no idea what to do with me. And we lived in a really small town, and they were more likely to say, literally, it is all in your head, you're making this up. And my mom wanted to figure out what was going on, and she would take me to different specialists. And I just remember, riding in the passenger seat to these appointments, and hold on, trying to get my hair done while I'm talking at the same time. Remember riding to these appointments for the specialists, and my eyes would be closed, and I'd be like, if I looked at anything, it would make me hurt more. If I moved my head while we were moving in the car, that would make me hurt more. And so I would just stay like this as still as possible the whole entire ride. And, and they did so many tests for me. I mean, so many tests. I remember, gosh, the one guy, he took vial after vial after vial of blood, thinking that, if he did the right blood test, that would show what was going on. And they tested me for multiple sclerosis and lupus and just so many different things. And everything came back negative, that there was nothing wrong with me. And so then that doctor concluded, well, she's, coming up with these things, that there's really nothing wrong, making too big of a deal out of what was happening. So, I believed him, that, this was normal. It's normal to feel this way and to not feel well and to not have energy and to be in pain. And maybe I was making too big of a deal out of everything. And so I went to college, and I was sick all the time. And I mean, like, in my backpack, there was always one pocket in my backpack for like cough drops and Kleenexes and all that stuff. And the other thing for a bag that had all like, after it was used. And, and I just remember my teachers always giving me extra time because they would see how sick I constantly was, and giving me a lot of leeway because I needed more time to do things, because I was falling asleep in the middle of doing my homework. They were constantly extending things for me and helping me out. And then when I finally graduated, with my bachelor's, and I went on and finished my master's, and I was always sick, and I was always going to urgent care or the, university's medical center, and they were always saying nothing was wrong. And like one time I was actually sent to the psychologist because they thought I had hypochondria and other things that were saying that I was sick when I really wasn't. And so I started my first job as an occupational therapist, and I was working in a hospital, and I was still just having all these issues, and I was having trouble thinking and staying on task and remembering things, and so I went to the doctor, and he again did all these blood tests and MRIs and CAT scans and everything, and finally determined that he thought that I had something called fibromyalgia, which is starting to gain traction as to what people know about it. And essentially, in some ways, it's we don't know what's wrong with you, so you're here, but in other ways, it's an actual thing, and basically, it's something that's where I have pain, all the time. And and it can, and also another hallmark is issues with depression and having any interest in doing anything, and wanting to do anything because you're exhausted, because the having pain constantly is absolutely exhausting. And so it's always a struggle for me, because even though I'm on, some medication that can help, it's not everything. Exercise helps, and other things help, but then when I had my kids, even though I ate as healthy as I possibly could, with each of my kids, I gained anywhere from like 50 to over 100 pounds. I kid you not, over 100 pounds. People were thinking that I was having twins or triplets. My stomach was huge, and it was just the way that my body was when I had kids. And I lost a lot of the weight after my first child, but then my second, my third, they were close together, and it was just too much for me physically and mentally to deal with everything. And the bigger that I've gotten, the more depressed I've gotten. The more depressed I've gotten, the less interest and energy I've had, and it's been like such a vicious cycle. And I need to break out of the cycle is what I need. And I've never been one to reach out for help, which is funny, because my job is all about helping other people. But taking the help myself is a big challenge. So here I am, and hoping that maybe something that I say is helpful for somebody else, but also hearing the words out loud myself is, and making myself accountable is going to be helpful for me. I'll have to put the lid back on this. So that's why I'm doing this, to give myself more accountability and try to make sure that I do things that are helpful for me and not hurtful, because it's very easy when you're feeling down to take the easier route, which is the, don't worry about failure because you never tried. So anyway, so that's it. That's all I'm going to talk about today. I might tell you more about things tomorrow. 5 things to be grateful really quick. I'm grateful that it's quiet right now. My kids are all sleeping. Grateful that I was smart enough to put the dogs outside because they're yapping at all the work that's being done around our house and our neighborhood. Grateful that I am forcing myself to do this because I think it'll be good for me in the long run. Grateful that I don't have that much pain today. and grateful that, grateful that I cleaned my bathroom because it's nice and clean in here. Not so much outside the house. Man, those kids trash it. So, okay, that's it. Hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.